Европската Унија и доделува на Унгарија 180 милиони евра годишно за истражување на ракот. Значителен дел од овој буџет се користи да се поттикнат клучните играчи во Унијата на заеднички научно-истражувачки проекти. Унгарските научници исто така се дел од проектот за човечкиот мозок. Резултатите од него треба да помогнат во развојот на нови мозочни третмани со примена на револуционерни компјутерски технологии. Проект вреден 54 милиони евра обезбедени од европските фондови. Домаќин на овој ЕУ карван низ новите членки, почитувани гледачи, е Сегедин, град кој се смета за медицински центар на Унгарија. На медицинските факултети овде се вршат и кардиоваскуларни и други истражувања, финансирани од Европската Унија. Со 44 милиони евра од структурните фондови ќе се модернизира постојниот и ќе се изгради нов клинички блок, а ќе се набави и нова опрема за ургентниот центар кој обслужува 1,3 милиони пациенти годишно.
Третиот по големина град во Унгарија. Сегедин, регионален центар на југот од земјата со 161.000 жители. Веднаш треба да се каже, исклучителен образовен центар, со свој универзитет, познат по биолошките истражувања и Академија на науки. Како резултат на проширување на наставните програми, универзитетот во Сегедин привлекува се повеќе странски студенти. Во 2010-та имало студенти од 39 земји. Негова одлика се исклучително големите истражувачки капацитети и високи стандарди во областа на природните науки, општествените науки, економијата, техничките, медицинските и здравствените науки. Близу 2 милиони евра годишно од европските фондови се оделуваат за проекти за одделот за софтверско инженерство на Универзитетот во Сегедин, кој е еден од најистакнатите за истражување во Европа. Преуваи градби во овој унгарски град. Поплочени плоштади, фонтани, го викаат град на сонцето. Една од главните атракции покрај аквапаркот е Сегедин Open Air, театарскиот фестивал кој се одржува секогаш на 21 мај, кога се прославува и денот на градот. Од друга страна, која е сосем сериозна, Сегедин е познат по одгледувањето на пиперки, производство на салами и сегединскиот гулаш. На пиперките и пик зимската салама, сегединци посветиле цел еден музеј. И оправдано, кога се дел од нивното секојдневие. Традицијата на производство плюс квалитет. Всушност нема семејство во овој град кое само не произведува црвена мелена пиперка. Унгарците се чини не можат без неа. Ја ставаат во секој јадење, во гулашот особено. Марк Пик е човекот кој во 1869 година ја отворил својата фабрика за салами. Најпрви не работел скромно со работници од Италија. Подоцна веќе го развива својот бизнис на големо. До денеска тајна е производството на пик саламата. Се знае дека е од свинско месо и дека има одличен вкус со непознати зачини. Сегедин вложува во животната средина. Еден од проектите кој е реализиран со европски пари и тежи 1,5 милион евра е акциониот план за намалување на потрошувачката на енергија. Околу 800 метри од соларни панели се инсталирани на покривот на болницата. Енергијата која се произведува сега служи за производство на топла вода и за грејење на зградата. Влијанието на овој проект беше почувствуван во три области: животната средина, иновации и регионален развој. Потрошувачката на газ се намали за околу 43%, додека новиот систем генерира 20% заштеда на енергијата. Искуството на болницата во Сегедин предизвика поширока кампања за рационално користење на енергијата, која вклучува и други општински згради, почнувајќи од средните училишта и медицинскиот центар.
Ова е главниот влез на клиничкиот центар во Сегедин, една од најголемите болници во Унгарија со капацитет да обслужи повеќе од 1.300.000 пациенти. Во склоп на овој медицински центар функционираат повеќе од 30 специјализирани клиники, институти, лаборатории, факултет за медицина и стоматологија. Клиничкиот центар го носи името на најславниот некогашен жител на Сегедин кога станува збор за медицината, биологот Алберт Сент Џорџ, пронаоѓачот на витаминот С. Во последниве години во овој клинички центар се инвестирани повеќе стотици милиони евра за изградба на нови и реконструкција на постоечките клиники и за набавка на модерна опрема за подобрување на квалитетот на здравствените услуги. Ќе прошетаме низ клиничкиот центар и ќе поразговараме со некои од најпроминентните стручњаци овде. Интервју со господја Марта Сил, продекан на медицинскиот факултет во Сегедин. Did the membership of Hungary into the European Union improve the quality of working in the healthcare institutions?
Yes, it did, but it was partially due to the exchange programs. But I think, in the most extent, what the Hungarian healthcare system was helped by the European Union are the supports got from the so-called structural funds that helped the Hungarian the Hungarian medical system to develop and build new clinics, for example, to buy new equipments for diagnostic and treatment purposes. Overall, I think that yes, the Hungarian healthcare system improved a lot due to the membership in the European Union.
Ms. Sil, what are the results of student exchange program?
If they are opened enough and come home from their exchange program, they come home with an extra attitude towards patients. And sometimes they very clearly claim to us, to their teachers, what were the positive things they saw in Western Europe or sometimes even in the United States, and what should be done differentially in Hungary. But sometimes, and I can tell you very often, they even tell us that this aspect or that aspect of medical care is done better in Hungary than they experienced in their visited country. So what is very important is, I think, is that they experience differences. Their mind opens to new things, and it may have a lifelong impact on their career.
Does the Hungarian healthcare system offer possibility to improve the students and the doctors' professionalism?
Yes, we have a very strict system for lifelong learning, and doctors must fulfill certain courses in 5-year periods. They must go to these courses within the country, but also if they go abroad to different conferences, and if these conferences are accredited, these are also accepted by the system. Lifelong learning is the part of the medical doctors in Hungary as well as it is all over the world. And the possibilities that they can go abroad for conferences and for short-term fellowships makes lifelong learning even easier. And this became possible since 2004.
Segedin, like city, is well known as a medical center of Hungary, or I'm not correct?
Yes, we believe and we hope so that the medical faculty is a very important point within the life of the city. But beside the medical faculty, we have 11 other faculties at the University of Szeged, which was established as one unit as University of Szeged in 2000, and since that time there have been a lot of very fruitful connections and synergies built among the different units of the university, and the Faculty of Medicine benefited a lot from these synergies. But it is true from the other side, the university also gained a lot of extra from the fact that the Faculty of Medicine is part of this university. So our scientific connections are very strong with other faculties within the university, and I think it's the Faculty of Medicine which is very important, but it is very important as a unit within the University of Szeged.
I think there are several reasons, but I think you mentioned the name Albert Szent-Györgyi, and all of us here in Szeged are very proud of him. Albert Szent-Györgyi discovered vitamin C, and on the other hand, he also discovered very important biochemical steps in the so-called Krebs cycle. It's a very specific thing, but a very basic things. And based on his discoveries, in 1937, he got a Nobel Prize for this. And I should mention that just 2 years ago, we made a big celebration since Szent-Györgyi had this Nobel Prize, and 9 Nobel Prize winners came to Szeged. And also 100 other very, very prestigious scientists, and we have a big meeting here. But to tell you that through Albert Szent-Györgyi also had a very important discovery how the muscles works, actin and myosin, how they work together. And for this discovery he got in the mid 1950s an Lasker Award in the United States, which is nearly equal to the Nobel Prize. But why is it important today, Szeged? Because we have, I think, a quite good natural science faculty with a very good chemist, excellent biologist. We have a good medical faculty, and I'm happy to say that, and that's an exception, we have a biological research center which belongs to the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. Because Hungarian Academy of Sciences support a lot of research activities all around the country, and this biological research center, which is the so-called new Szeged part of the town, has excellent opportunities. Their responsibility just research. So therefore, for example, medical faculty people like me, a very close collaboration with the biological research center too. And why we are relatively strong? Because we are work together. I have excellent collaboration with chemists. Professor Ferenc Fülöp, an excellent academician. He is who synthesized us these cyanuric acid compounds. Professor József Toldi, he is working at the natural science faculty. Together with him, we test these compounds. So I don't want to say all of the people, but what I would like to mention that the collaboration between these excellent people makes strong the Szeged Center. And since we are a relatively small town, just 160,000 people are living here, not like in Budapest, where maybe 2 million people, it's very easily just to go to the bike, to make 100 meters, to make 1 kilometer, and using my bicycle, I can reach the new Szeged Center or wherever place in the town. So that's a good way to do science.
Многумина го користат, а веројатно малкумина знаат дека најупотребуваниот витамин на денешницата, витаминот С, е создаден токму овде во Сегедин. Негов пронаоѓач е Сент Џорџ Алберт, кој во 1935-та прави вистинска револуција против скорбутот, болест со која човештвото си имало сериозна мака се до откривањето на скорбинската киселина. 2 години подоцна, унгарскиот лекар и научник добива Нобелова награда за медицина. Денес, Универзитетот во Сегедин го носи неговото име. Интервју со професорот Ласло Павич, раководител на одделот за нуклеарна медицина на Клиничкиот центар во Сегедин. Professor Pavic, having on mind that a part of your career you spent abroad, could you tell us please what is the level of Hungarian healthcare compared with European health systems?
Yeah. Yes, so I was really lucky that shortly after finishing my studium here in the university, I had the possibility to work abroad, and I met with several people all around the world, and really I have one of my best friends come from Germany, but also in the States, in Australia, and in different countries. I have several good friends, so I have an overview what is the situation in what is the problem of the healthcare in Western countries and what the problem in the Eastern country. So I think the problem is the same. The healthcare is more and more expensive. The people, due to the good health service, will have a longer expected lifetime. So all the nations and all the healthcare system is suffering with new diseases, with an older generation, and with the cost of the new drugs and the different diagnostic and therapeutical possibilities, which is developing from minutes to minutes and cost more and more money. And it's very difficult to decide which cost can be overtaken by a social healthcare system and whatnot.
You are head of the Department of Nuclear Medicine. Do you have a new modern technology, and tell us something more about your department?
Yeah, so in my department we have built up a therapy station with 6 beds and all the radiation safety regulations what we need, and it's according to the most modern requirements. Also in this building we will have some new diagnostic facilities. We build up an outpatient clinic for diagnostic and treatment of different endocrinological disorders. We will receive hybrid imaging techniques, so combined nuclear medicine techniques with radiology, and hopefully we can go farther and to buy other new devices as well.
But anyway, can Hungary be proud of dignified and representative hospitals?
Yes, so I think a lot of money was invested from European sources in the Hungarian healthcare system. It is also a goal of the European Union that all the citizens who are living in Europe could receive the same health care service independently from the location of the cities or countries.
I found a date on internet that a large amount of money has been used to renovate the hospital in Szegedin. Could you give us some specific numbers?
About the cost of it, or
yeah,
this is in forint is about 20 billion forint, which was invested in the last few years in renovation and also to build up new buildings. So what we made is to renovate one of the modern part of the clinical center, And beside this building, we build up a new one. And these two buildings, combined with the emergency unit, is a so-called core medical center with 12 operation rooms, with modern diagnostic possibilities, with hemodynamic labs, electrophysiological labs. We try to concentrate all the surgical, the large surgical treatments in this core center, and around this core center we will build up the smaller clinics and also the clinics of giving the background services. For example, the pathology is here in the surrounding, then the chemical lab, and so on.
Was this amount enough to improve the quality of the services for the patients?
Yes, it's the money is never enough, of course. So the general idea was to rebuild the whole hospitals here in Szeged, and this side of the river, and the other side in the river we wanted to build up research institutions, and the two part of the university was planned to connect with a bridge. The overall cost of this project was 10 years ago about 80 billion forint, and now we are talking about 20, which was invested until now in the health care. So of course we are lucky that this part of the reform is also complete, but if we want to finish it, then we need also other sources in the next few years.
Do you think that the medical sector is better after Hungary is part of EU?
Well, it's a bit more difficult because the salaries are rather for the physicians, doctors, and nurses are rather low, and many of the well-trained doctors are going to work to Western Europe, and that's why the level of the healthcare is a bit problematic. There are coming new members or new colleagues, but in general there is a great emigration towards Western Europe for the physicians, for the doctors, because the salaries are much higher in Germany, in Norway, or in England. So this is really a real problem.
Well, I think it's better in Szeged. In Szeged, much more better, because they built a new. It's called HBO, and so if you have some accident, you go to the HBO, and it's far more better than the European Union.
For sure, we have much more medicines and much more choice and much higher price also. But is it better or no? Thank God I'm healthy, so I don't have so much experience about that. But I'm not so sure about that it is so much better than it was.
Sometimes it takes too long to get treated. I once went to get an examination for my sleep, for how I sleep, and I got an appointment after 3 months.
So what is the last station to produce a new drug?
You see, to produce a new drug, it's a very long story. I don't think so the university is able to do that. So what we can do at this time, we make a patent based on our own experiments, and we summarize it, we apply to the patent office. And if a pharmaceutical company is interested in this patent, he finds it is interesting further develop, they will do that. Because to make a new drug, it's a terrible amount of money. So it's $1 billion amount of money. It should be performed a very sophisticated preclinical test, the so-called phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3 investigations in the clinical practice, and it is supported mainly 90% by the pharmaceutical industry. So we just hope that our patents will be interesting to pharmaceutical industry, they will come to the university, and finally they will further develop our own substances.
How much of the European money have you spent so far in your research projects?
You see, concerning our own research project, as I told to you, we have two types of. One of them, the national brain research program, which depends on the government, so we got it from the Hungarian government. The second one is the EU money. We are quite happy because a year ago we joined to the so-called Euro Head Pain program, and this program is responsible for the development of new substances in the treatment of migraine. And concerning the money, maybe it's not a very big money, but we have around, I think, 300,000 euro for this program. And it's good to buy substances, to hire new colleagues, to give some extra money those people who are actively working in this field. And although we have another type of EU monies, it is called TAMOP, that's the Hungarian name, and we also can use it in our clinical and especially in our experimental work.
Tell us something more about the conditions in which the Hungarian doctors work. Are the things improved after Hungarian became a European member state regarding the health sector?
I think there is a tremendous development. I think you visited this new building just a couple of minutes ago. This new building was set up, was supported mainly by the European Union. It has 256 beds. And concerning neurology, we have a very excellent stroke unit in this new building. So we got an important support, and it's very good to have it because we have a much better work conditions. Of course, not every point is sunshine, because it's not true. We would be happy if it would be better salaries. Many points of view it could be better, but it's no question. Just to speak about neurology, this new building, which is just, we got it a year ago, and this other building, which is just under reconstruction, thanks to the support of the European Union, I think gives us a much better conditions to work here.
Thank you, Mr. Laurent Lerner, for your participation in EU Caravan. First of all, please tell us what ELI-ALPS stands for.
Okay, thank you. The ELI-ALPS is a big European research infrastructure investment in Hungary, particularly in Szeged, south side of Hungary. And the ELI-ALPS is after second light power sources research infrastructure here. We will examine the light and the environment, the light and the matter with a high scale and high intensity.
Can you explain in few words the work of this plant laser?
Well, the ELI-ALPS is a user facility that consists of a network of lasers and secondary sources that are driven by the laser. It's not one laser. There are three main systems, lasing systems, and they are operating, they're driving, as we say, other radiation sources and also particle sources. They accelerate particles. So these three main systems have different characteristics. The first one has a very high repetition rate, meaning that it emits light pulses in very short intervals. So the repetition rate is 100 kilohertz. So it emits 100,000 pulses per second at somehow low energy, a few millijoules. Then the second system is again a high repetition rate, but not that high. It's a kilohertz system. It emits 1,000 pulses per second, but at higher energies, 100 millijoules. And the third system is a very high power system, peak power system, operating at 10 hertz, 10 pulses per second, but with very, very high pulse energies close to 1 joule. Now, all the sources, the pulses they are emitting are short in time. The two first systems emit pulses of 5 femtosecond. I will explain. 1 femton is 0.14 zeros and then the 1 seconds. The last system emits somehow longer pulses, about 10 femtoseconds, but still very short pulses. Which means that they are very intense systems, all of them, because the power is, you have the energy per pulse divided by the pulse duration, and when the pulse duration is short, the intensity or the power you're reaching is very high.
And having in mind that Szeged is a medical city, does this laboratory can be used in medical researches?
Yes, medical research is radiological researches or other life science researches.
850 million euros are used for the project within 3 countries. Do you plan to expand the project in other EU countries?
Yes, the research centers. The research center is located in Prague, Bucharest, and in Szeged, but the users will be around our countries, from all European countries. It's not we could not use it as Hungarian, Czechs, and Romanian researchers, but all over Europe and all over the world, from South Korea till Australia or New Zealand or United States.
Is there any pollution or radiant effects during the experiments, and how is that solved?
Now, there is no pollution unless some of the users they want to do experiments with some hazards, but this will be a very seldom case, and there are safety measures for this. Now, there will be radiation issues because, in particular, the very powerful lasers, the petawatt laser, the third system I was talking about, when it interacts with matter, it produces radiation, X-rays, gamma rays, neutrons, ultra-fast electrons, and so on. Now for this, in the facility there will be 3 different types of experimental areas with different degree of radio protection, meaning that the walls of these different levels will have a different width. And in the heaviest duty, where the most of the radiation will be produced, the walls will have a width of 2 meters of concrete that stops the radiation to come out from the lab. And of course, in this room, everything will be operated remotely. No operators will enter the room while the experiment is running, and a while after the experiment is done, because some materials may be activated and they need short time until they are deactivated. So there are all the safety, of course, measures taken against radiation. So there is radiation protection.
Mm-hmm. Can you say something more about the application, how you got the EU funding for the project?
The whole idea started around 2008, and the Hungarian government decided to establish the Eli HU non-profit Ltd in Szeged in Hungary in 2010, and the Eli Labs, the Ltd, is applied for a tender in 2011. We won the preliminary tenders to start to design the machines, the equipment, the laser equipment, to design the whole building infrastructure in Szeged. And the real start of the project, the building is started in 2013, and the building construction started really in 2014, and we will try to finish all the activities and start the operation phases in 2018.
Do you plan to have a commercial part in the laser laboratory for some commercial purposes?
Yes, the infrastructure is mainly dedicated to science, applied and basic science, but there will be the possibility for companies or industries to come and do their experiments or testings for different materials or products they have, using any of the sources that will be available. Yes, it will be open, and I personally believe it is very important that the infrastructure will be used also for the private domain, for companies and commercial institutions.
Does this project can be established without the EU fund support?
I don't think so. Not only the EU funds, not only talk the money, but the support of other laser institutes or universities around Europe give us lots of support in other way. So.
Овој крај во Унгарија е населен уште во антиката, но името Сегедин првпат се споменува во 1183 година. Низ епохите растел и бил уништуван. Бил седиште на Атила кога дошле хуните, а монголците за време на нивната инвазија го претвориле во пепел. Градот просперира во средниот век и под турско, но преживува уште две апокалипси. Во 1879 градот е целосно поплавен. Во обновата Сегедин го добива сегашниот лик, широки улици и за тоа време модерни фасади. Во Втората светска војна значителен дел од градот е повторно разурнат, но Сегедин брзо се крева и по овој пат. Денес Сегедин е убаво среден европски град во кој и покрај динамичното темпо се живее опуштено и квалитетно. Благодарение на европските фондови, голем број културни настани се одржуваат, од кои најпознат е отворениот театарски фестивал. Комплетно е модернизиран јавниот транспорт, има многу зеленило и дотерани паркови. Довидување во следната епизода на EU Карванот низ новите земји членки.